what advice would you give to other organizations like the Kensington Chelsea Foundation that want to get on the radar of businesses such as yours? Because there's obviously a lot of successful British fintech businesses that have emerged. How can charitable organizations get on your radar and almost make their case?
Just start, I mean, Victoria knows better than me. It's smile and dial. It's using social media. Look, we've done things locally before. We help a disability sports charity every year locally. We helped out with food banks, but if I'm honest, we normally go to the big hitters, the household brands, because they've got greater budgets and greater reach. So partly we have to put some effort in as businesses, but it works two ways. So I'm lucky the corporate development team and marketing team here had a look for what was around locally, and we didn't have to look too far actually to find the Kensington Chelsea Foundation. So that's well done to Victoria and the team. And I think, look, we sit in between technology and finance, and finance sometimes gets a bad name, but there's been some significant contributions from some of the largest banks in the world and some of my biggest trading partners. So there is a willingness and there is an obligation that they feel within those organizations to help. But I think we need to filter that all the way down. I mean, for one, I've advocated a charity tax for some time. Tax is an emotive word, but call it an optional tax. It's something I'd ask, I'd be looking for Felicity and her peers to be considering. I'd tick the box right away if that was optional. I'd tick the box again if that was a corporation tax optionality. So make it easy for us. Of course, gift aid and all of those things help. So for companies, I think, especially if we're in boroughs like this, I'm not in Canary Wharf, I'm not in the City of London, I'm in W11, right in the middle of Kensington Chelsea, and in the northern part of Kensington Chelsea, which is less affluent. And we look around us and we need to help. And we do this in many ways. We have an apprenticeship scheme. Again, I don't know which government brought it in, but it's a useful scheme. We use that. We have local guys and girls who come and enter the apprenticeship scheme at LMAX, and I hope they can progress with us and then in the wider finance community after us. Yeah.
Some really good points there. Felicity, just on coming to you, what's your response? I mean, you've been an MP since the 12th of December, so not too long, and a bit of a baptism of fire, I guess. These last 4 months, but you must take a hell of a lot of inspiration from everything you've just heard. What do you think government could be doing to respond to some of David's points?
Well, first of all, I just want to say so well done to LMAX and to the Kensington and Chelsea Foundation. What you are doing in our borough and my constituency is just absolutely phenomenal. And I am very, very well aware, as I think Victoria mentioned, that Kensington has got huge disparities between the wealthy and those not as well-to-do. During my campaign last autumn and winter, one of the things that I did raise a lot was health inequalities. The difference in age expectancy in the north of our constituency to the south of the constituency is 16 years, and I want to address that. And it's by working with partners like the Kensington and Chelsea Foundation and LMAX that we can address those things. In terms of government specifically, during the coronavirus crisis, we are giving an additional 750 million to charities, and that's going to be roughly apportioned, half of it to large charities and half of it to smaller charities who can apply locally through the equivalent of the lottery fund. So we are very well aware of the fact that charities have got an increased burden in terms of they've got more need from people, but at the same time, they don't have people running the marathon or doing charity fundraisers. I myself have been involved in a lot of local charities. So this morning I actually went to Age UK, who are running a fabulous distribution centre with
Victoria, they're one of the charities that are being funded, aren't they, through the Kensington Chelsea Foundation?
They are, and through LMAX actually as well.
Yeah, and they're doing just a phenomenal job. They're working out of the Almanar Mosque, and they're working very much so in tandem with Almanar. And what they are doing is they're putting together food packages, they're distributing those. I'm a former banker, and I've got to say, this was such a professional operation. I'm sure LMAX would be proud of it. So very, very impressive. The week before, I went to the Venture Centre, which runs a food bank. In the past, I've been involved with Rugby Portobello Trust. So there's no question that what our local communities are doing is phenomenal. And coronavirus is a very, very difficult time. But in the same way as we're seeing the worst of this illness, it's also bringing out, in some ways, the best of us as a local community. So I want to thank LMAX and the Kensington and Chelsea Foundation.